안 켜도 됩니다. 자막만 보세요.
Observable evidence.
I mean, take a look at what happened 65 million years ago.
Hang on, I can't. That's 65 million years ago.
I believe, yeah, millions of years.
So that can't be observed.
We can trace the evolution through the fossil record.
To be specific, just give me one.
Between 6 and 7 million years ago.
So it's quite a long time. Yes. Millions of years. Yes. So it can't be observed.
Evolution is not testable over time.
We are condemned to live only for a few decades, and that's too slow, too small a time scale to see evolution going on. Richard Dawkins. We see nothing of these slow changes in progress until the hand of time has marked the lapse of ages. Charles Darwin.
You've got the canine kind, the coyote, and the domestic dog, and there's the feline kind, which is the cats, the tiger and the kitten, and you've got humankind. So Darwin said there'd be a change of kinds over many years. So could you give me one example of observable evidence of a change of kinds?
For instance, the fossil record shows the common ancestors of all carnivores, that cats and dogs were once linked, united by a common ancestor.
How long ago?
This, I believe, was like 60 million years ago.
I don't want something I have to accept by faith. I want it to be observable.
Observable evidence. Well, I mean, if you're just asking me here on the street, there's not really much I can tell you in terms of observable evidence. Like, we would have to really examine existing data to draw conclusions of our own.
I would have to have faith then.
We would have to have some amount of faith.
Can you think of any observable evidence for Darwinian evolution where he said there'd be a change of kind?
Monkey to man, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, a change of kinds.
I don't really believe there's any proof for that yet.
Well, monkeys are the only ones with the fifth digit, like we have.
Koalas have a fifth digit. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
I think we're evolved from koalas.
No.
When I went to Washington D.C., I saw they had a whole exhibit just on the
Smithsonian?
yeah. And
So that is just like some stuffed dummies like standing around a fire.
I have a strong trust in evolutionary ideas based on the evidence presented.
I'm going to trust what those experts did. Those experts came up with.
Can you think of any observable evidence for Darwinian evolution, a change of kinds?
I haven't seen it myself, but I believe what the textbooks tell me about it, so...
You've got faith in the expert?
I have faith in the experts, yeah. I guess similar to how religious people have faith that God actually exists, I have faith in the experts knowing what they're talking about.
The scientific method must be observable and repeatable. So could you give me one piece of observable evidence for Darwinian evolution?
Okay, I would point to, and one great example is look at the genetics of the stickleback.
What's that?
So stickleback fish are a very interesting collection of species that were recently isolated after the end of the Ice Age.
What have they become?
They're various species of sticklebacks.
They stayed as fish.
Well, of course.
Can you think of any observable evidence that there was a change of kinds?
Fish. Human beings are still fish.
Human beings are fish?
Why, yes, of course they are.
How long did that take?
A couple of billions of years, millions.
A couple of millions? How is that observable?
It's not.
We came out of the ground as a mammal, and one mammal created...
Come out of the ground? Didn't come out of the sea?
Well, initially in the beginning, we came out of the ground and the sea. After the great destruction of the...
So do we have lungs or gills when we came out of the sea?
You want to know something? Those that were in the sea, I guess, had gills, and those that were on land had lungs.
So if we came out of the sea, we had gills in the sea.
You want to know something? Who knows that we came out of the sea or we evolved from mammals?
So you don't know?
Of course I don't know.
I'm accepting that they did their science correctly.
Could you give me an example of Darwinian evolution, not adaptation or speciation, but a change of kinds?
These are changes of kinds.
Still fish.
They're distinctly different fish.
We have thousands of examples.
Can you give me one?
I can give you thousands.
Just one.
For instance, I would say look at Lenski's experiments with bacteria then.
So what do the bacteria become?
The bacteria are still bacteria, of course.
That's not Darwinian evolution. That's not a change of kinds, is it?
It is a change. It is a change in the genetic makeup of the bacteria, which
It's
is
still bacteria. So what do the bacteria become?
a new kind of bacteria.
It's still bacteria, there's no change of kinds. To summarize, the observable evidence you give me for Darwinian evolution is bacteria becoming bacteria.
No, it is bacteria acquiring new metabolic capabilities.
You said before that there is lots of evidence for evolution. I just want one observable evidence for Darwinian evolution, not just one.
But I gave you some. You don't want.
Not some, I want one.
You don't want that.
I want one. Yes, I do. I'm pleading with you.
You asked me to tell you. You asked me to tell you when I've watched one species evolve into another. Isn't that right?
No, one kind into another. There's 14 different definitions of species. So I want a change of kind.
When you're talking about kinds of change in families, you're actually talking about macroevolution. You're talking about changes on the level that separates cats from dogs.
Could you give me any examples of Darwinian evolution?
Well, when you say examples of that, then you have to sort of look at it over a longer time frame.
It has nothing to do with faith. Faith is something that I have to unseen. I have to believe in.
That's it, unseen. Look, do you believe evolution?
Of course I do.
Are you a believer in evolution?
Yes, I am.
When did you start to believe evolution?
I started to believe evolution when I started to think out for myself.
Is evolution a belief?
Well, you know something? Evolution is a thought process. This is coming to terms and checking out all the alternatives. Like taking a look at the
네, 시간 관계상 그만 보겠습니다. Bacteria, still bacteria, still fish. 종간에 종이 바뀐 얘는 이 생물학과 교수이지만 UCLA 대학에 하나를 이야기하지 못합니다. 1000가지를 이야기할 수 있다고 그러지만 한 가지만 이야기하려도 하지를 못하는 거예요. 왜 그렇습니까? 하나님의 작품이 아니기 때문에 그렇습니다. 거짓이기 때문에 그렇습니다. 잠깐 쉬었다가 할게요.